Hello and welcome to round 12 here in Kegums, Latvia. I'm just on the start grid for the first qualifying race of the day of the MX2 class. Now, I want to speak to a man that literally rode right past me in the paddock earlier and I didn't have a clue who he was. Why have you cut your hair?
Yeah, you know, the last few weeks the FIM was giving me a hard time about it, hanging out the back of my helmet, and I didn't want to tie it up, so yeah, finally they put enough pressure on me, I had to cut it. I was pretty bummed about it actually, but you know, it'll grow back, so but you know, hopefully this will be a new start for me. Cut off the hair and get some better results here in Europe.
You say a new start for you, I'm hoping so as well, but in terms of practice earlier, it didn't go fantastically, did it?
Yeah, we're changing a lot of stuff on the bike this weekend, you know, I'm just struggling a little bit with the setup, with the suspension, but we made some big changes before this race, so hopefully we went in the right direction.
Okay, well, best of luck. Thank you. That's Thomas Covington there. I want to speak to Brian Borgers. Brian Borgers last year was joint in points in the EMX 250 championship with Stephen Clark. Stephen Clark actually won it on countback, which is unfortunate for Brian, but he's since moved up to MX2. Hi, Brian. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
First year in MX2. I know your best result so far was in Valkenswaard in the sand. Back in the sand here in Kegums. I'm guessing it's quite a good track for you?
Yeah, it's like Dutch, I think so. So it's always good to be in the sand, and I hope to take good starts, and I try to do my best, and I hope to make the best of it.
And tell us how practice was earlier, because in terms of weather, it's changing quite a bit here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult, but the track stays good, so I think it will be a nice race.
Best of luck, Brian. Thank you. Time for the MX2 qualifying now.
Blustery conditions in Kegums in Latvia was the order of the day. On and off showers, a little bit breezy out on track as well, but circuit conditions generally in perfect condition for the riders for the MX2 qualifying race. Time practice, it was Tim Geiser on the Honda Garibaldi machine who was fastest, putting in a blisteringly fast lap right at the end of the time training session, edging out Max Anstey on the Monster Energy DRT Kawasaki and Paul Jonas, the Red Bull KTM factory rider. The gate drop then in MX2 qualifying, and it was Max Anstey who charged into turn one, kept it nice and tight, came away with a whole shot. Robert Just on the HSF Logistics Motorsport KTM, just behind Jordi Tixier, but watch what happens to the Kawasaki rider. Supermans his way through, gets hit by Kevin Fors and amongst others, one or two other riders as well in the process. But then here, Julian Lieber, a wayward Yamaha rider, takes out Seva Brilyakov on the JTEC Honda. So drama on the opening lap in the qualifying race in MX2. But Max Anstey, number 99, edging clear of 243. Tim Geiser with Jonas third, Brian Borgers fourth, Samuele Bernardini fifth, and Monticelli there in sixth place on the opening lap. Back on board with the local rider, Robert Just, having a great second half of the season. Got his first top 10 overall with 8th in Sweden 1 week ago. Jordi Tixier, though, having to battle his way through the field. Eventually, the Kawasaki rider came home in 20th position. As this Kawasaki rider here, Max Anstey, no such dramas for him, just dancing around this Kegum circuit, doing everything right, riding with confidence, and was always cool and calm as well. So too was 243, Tim Geiser, keeping the Brit honest and just trying to get through it after that spectacular crash 1 week ago in the second MX2 race in Sweden. Paul Jonas keeping the Latvian fans happy with his performance in third place, although he was starting to lose the toe of the two guys ahead of him. Hadn't been able to ride the bike during the week though since Sweden. So this is the first day on the machine for Paul Jonas. Looking good though despite that crash. So too was Brian Borgers, HSF Logistics Motorsport 189. Bernardini 321 on the TM was holding off Valentin Guillot and Jeremy Seewer, as Ivo Monticelli was just there in the background, and behind him the number 6 of Benoit Paturel in 9th place. Anstey supremely confident in the sand, and it was muted before the start of the qualifying race. If he gets a whole shot in the qualifying race or any of the main races for that matter, he could be the rider to beat in the absence of Jeffrey Hurlings this weekend. Borges stayed in 4th place until lap 6. Valentin Guillot eventually caught him, having passed the 3:21 of Bernardini as he started to fade back to an eventual 16th position. But Valentin Guillot, the standing construct Yamaha there, number 92, got the 189 of Borges in his sights, and on lap 6 the Swiss rider was through. He then went after Paul Jonas, but wasn't able to close down on the Red Bull KTM rider as Robert just battled on, eventually coming home in 11th place. Julian Lieber, 33, teammate to Valentin Guillot, had a bit of an up and down race, was 9th, eventually dropped down to 12th before climbing back to 9th place. But Jonas, as we said before, just doing enough to stay there in 3rd, and in the closing stages just having to turn it up a little bit to stay ahead of Valentin Guillot, 92, who was being urged on by the standing construct team. Max Anstey leading every one of the 13 laps on offer on that Monster Energy DRT Kawasaki, hitting all his markers, never really dropped the pace. That might have been the only problem that he had all moto, struggling to grab that tear off there as he came over the finish line jump, but plain sailing for the number 99. Tim Geiser, what's he got up his sleeve for the main race on Sunday? He tried to keep Anstey honest in the early stages of the races, but eventually let the Brit go on and take a comfortable margin at the head of the field. And coming out of the final turn, it was Max Anstey who looked forward to the checkered flag for the first time in a qualifying race in 2015. It was Anstey, the winner. Geiser came home in 2nd, Pauls Jonas came home in 3rd, Guillot 4th, and Jeremy Seward was 5th.
Max Anstey, congratulations. You got the whole shot here in the qualifying race in Latvia. You won the Grand Prix in Lommel last year as well, so you're pretty strong in the sand, I'm guessing.
Well, you know, I enjoy the sand. I grew up riding a lot in Holland and things like that. To be honest, I haven't actually done much sand riding because I'm based in England now. But no, it's a really good day. Hopefully the rain holds off for tomorrow. It's pretty one-liney out there with the lappers, but I'm enjoying it. The guys are riding really fast here. It's a shame Jeffrey's not here. I wish him all the best to get well soon, and hopefully I can go and get up front and get on the box.
Best of luck for tomorrow. Thank you. Tim Geiser, 2nd in qualifying. I know you were right behind Max, but he seemed to extend his lead a little bit. Were you just settling for 2nd? You didn't want to make too many mistakes in the end?
Yes, exactly. I have pretty good start. I was on the inside gate, so it was really good, around 4th, something like that, and then make quick pass in the beginning, and then I was behind Max, and then for the half race I think we was riding the same pace, but then I saw that you know, it was really heavy to risk so much in the qualification race, so I settled for a 2nd position, and yeah, really looking for tomorrow.
Great job, thank you. Pauls Jonas, 3rd in qualifying here at Latvia. Best qualifying result since Argentina, so tell us about your start, tell us about your race.
Yeah, I got a pretty good start. You know, the jump wasn't the best, but I cut the inside in the turn, so I was 3rd, I think, or 4th from the start. I made some passes, and yeah, I ride smart race. I try to not waste energy because after Sweden, you know, after the big crash, I have done nothing last week. So, but I felt really good. You know, home crowd cheered me on. That was awesome. You know, the fans are crazy, and I just enjoy the riding. You know, it's my home GP. You know, it's more pressure on me, but I just try to take it easy and have fun. So far, so good.
Good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you.